Hello, my name is Sarah Alderson and I'm a general practitioner and quality improvement researcher. Audit and feedback is widely used to improve healthcare quality. This snapshot will provide an overview and focus on the pragmatics of audit and feedback. I lead the campaign to reduce opioid prescribing, an audit and feedback program that has reduced prescribing of potentially harmful opioid medications across the north of England, as well as other feedback programs to reduce antibiotic prescribing in primary care, and with some of the national clinical audits to increase their effectiveness. There is increasing interest in testing different ways of designing and delivering audit and feedback quality improvement initiatives to both increase the effectiveness in improving care and at the same time increase the evidence on how we should do audit and feedback. Within the UK, there are national clinical audit and patient outcome programs, which includes over 60 audits covering a range of clinical topics, as well as many more regional audits. Clinical audits continuously try to improve what they are doing. However, frequently are not able to undertake rigorous testing to determine how effective their changes have been in improving patient care. Testing different methods of audit and feedback can determine which method is most effective in improving patient care. An example might be, does sending paper as well as email copies of feedback reports result in more guideline-based care? It involves making small incremental improvements to see if this improves results, and over time might have large population effects. Currently, there are only a few examples of embedding these sorts of tests in existing clinical programs. Today, I'm going to talk through our 10 top tips on how audit programs can test different ways of designing and delivering audit and feedback to see which is the most effective at improving care. Our full published findings can be found in the references section of this presentation. Top tip number 1, consider what extra resources the audit program will need to run tests. Many audits are run on a shoestring and have no extra capacity to think about research or how staff to undertake the necessary work. This might need some extra funding. Top tip number 2, clinical audits have very strict timetables to deliver their audits, which do not often work well with research funding cycles. Our top tip 2 is to agree timelines in advance, particularly if working with researchers to analyse any changes in effectiveness of the audit and feedback. Some clinical audits have existing data sharing agreements and can share with research teams. However, this needs confirming. Sometimes routinely collected audit data is not quite as clean as the data used in trials, and this may involve some extra cleaning and checking of the data. Tip 4, engage an enthusiastic leader within the clinical audit to drive the research forward. Top tip 5, leaders need to understand and promote the equipoise in audit and feedback research. So negative trials to improve effectiveness are not seen as failures of the audit or the research. It just means that that is not the best way to improve an audit's effectiveness. Top tip 6, identify shared priorities between the researchers and audit staff to help build relationships for collaboration. It's always good to start with something that you know that is going to be a priority for both the audit team and the research team. Some audits have concerns that large changes to their audit and feedback may alienate their end users and the healthcare professionals who use these to improve care. This may damage their brand and third-party relationships. So start with small changes is our top tip number 7. Some clinical areas do not have evidence-based standards, which makes justifying improvement difficult. Top tip 8 is to ensure that any standards chosen for your audit have a good evidence base and there is enough variation in practice for improvement to occur. There are a lot of research questions that need answering regarding how to make audit and feedback more effective, but jumping in to test them all may alienate the clinical audit. Start slowly and be pragmatic as to what the audit can achieve is tip number 9. Finally, top tip 10 is to recognise that small improvements may have significant population health benefits, and that this message needs to be heard by funders, commissioners and healthcare systems so that they recognise the benefits that might occur from undertaking research in effectiveness of different methods of doing audit and feedback. So those are our 10 top tips to embedding experiments within existing quality improvement programs. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions or would like to get in touch, my contact details are below.